Limestone and Hoops, A True Love Story by Switch W. Limestone is coming to Ponyville for the first time to see her sister Pinky, and Pinky is very excited to see her sister. When Limestone arrived to the train station, Pinky was so happy to see her sister again, and she hugged her so much. Welcome, Limestone, to Ponyville, said Pinky. Thanks, said Limestone. Limestone didn't seem to be excited to be in Ponyville. She'd rather be at the rock farm, but she's only just traveled to Ponyville to see her sister so that she could be happy. And she likes to be happy, and she loves her sister. I want you to show you around in Ponyville, said Pinky, and even to introduce you to my friends. Limestone looked a little bit, not so introduced, not happy to see her friends, but as long as she wants to be her sister to be happy, so she said, "Alright, let's go," said Limestone. Limestone and Pinky, they walked around the town, which Pinky showed like where she works and where she lives at the Sugar Corner, and where the castle is where Twilight lives, and she even shows around some other places in town. Later, they went to the castle, which the others already were, and since Twilight and her friends already met Maud for the first time, and they were hoping that Limestone might be a similar condition. But what Applejack told her friends that Limestone seems to be more aggressive type, but later could be more hard warming up to others, because she is a little bit protective of herself, especially for her family and friends, close friends. After they had been introduced to Limestone, she went to Sugar Corner alone, while Pinky was at the castle for some friendship discussions for the next festival in Ponyville. At Sugar Corner, Limestone is sitting and eating some cupcakes alone. She's watching other ponies walk in and then leave Sugar Corner, but then she sees a brown Pegasus enter the Sugar Corner. When she sees the pony, she can feel her heart beats faster, and she's blushed when she sees him. She had never felt so in that kind of way in a long time. And the pony she saw was Hoops from Cloudsdale. He was in Ponyville to see Rainbow Dash. They had become, kind of a little bit closer friends, but he might still sometimes even argue with her, but they had become less tolerant to each other to become friends. Later in the evening, when Pinky arrived to Sugar Corner, she sees that Limestone is lying on her bed, and she asked how her day was. "Well, it was okay," said Limestone back. When Pinky was looking around some of her items in a drawer, Limestone asked if she know any brown Pegasus, and Pinky looked at her sister and said, "Yeah, that's Hoops. He's a friend of Rainbow. What you ask? Asked Pinky. Nothing, just wondering. And Pinky could see that Limestone was actually blushing, and then she realized that Limestone was interested in hops. Limestone could see that Pinky was so excited. Before she started to scream of happiness, she said, "Pinky, stop." And Pinky she was about to jump in the air, but then dropped to the floor again. Pinky then looked a little bit curious about her sister, why she said stop suddenly. "Pinky, can you promise something?" "Of course, you're my sister. I promise not to tell anyone." "You're right. I am kinda interested in hops, but I'm so tough and, well, it seems no one other opponents seems to like me in the same way. And it has been a long time since I even had anyone." And Pinky just looked at Limestone and nodded. She knew that it has been at least about 4 or 5 years since she had a boyfriend. And Pinky wants that Limestone to be happy. "What can you tell me about Limestone? About hops?" said Limestone. Pinky looked at her sister first, and she looked at her sister again and again. She was thinking about what she could tell about hops. And then she said, "Well, Hops is kinda an athletic type of pony. He likes sports. He's from Cloudsdale, then he's a friend of Rainbow, and they used to be enemies or some kind, but now she's getting tolerated." Limestone looked at her sister, and so he likes sports. "What kind?" "Well, he likes hoofball and wrestling, I think." Limestone looked at her sister and then thought, maybe I could ask Hops to maybe wrestle or even play some hoofball with me if I could see him again. Limestone was only going to be in Ponyville for at least a week, so she had a limited time to talk to Hops before she returned back to the Rock Farm again. "Pinky, do you know where I could find Hops?" "Well, he's mostly in Cloudsdale, but recently has been around here from time to time. But I think he will be here tomorrow as well." "Why do you ask?" asked Pinky. Well, she didn't say much, just blushed, and Pinky saw it, and she just smiled back, and she didn't understand. "Please don't tell any pony about this." And Pinky made a pinky promise not to tell any pony about it. Early next morning, after breakfast, Limestone left Sugarcube Corner and just walking around town to see for something to do, while Pinky was back in Sugarcube Corner to make some work. Then suddenly she saw some pony which at the market. And it was Hobbs. He was talking to another pony there, but it was not Rainbow. I think it was Derpy. Derpy and Hobbs, they seem to be kinda good friends, even they, well, have bullied her sometimes before, but they seems to get along as well. Then Limestone was afraid to just walk up to him and ask him if they could do something, since he was more a tough sport type of pony, but she was not like a sports type. But she wanted to try to ask him. But when she was moving closer to him, her legs started to shake and she started to make a second thought to ask. So instead of walking towards him, she walked away to a different direction. She was afraid to ask him. But later the same day, around afternoon, she saw him in the park alone. He was playing hoofball with himself when the ball hit her head. He asked for forgiveness, and then she saw it was Hobbs, and she just said, "No worries. You're playing hoofball?" "Yeah. Kinda alone when you don't have anyone else to play with," said Hobbs back. "Mind if I play with you?" said Limestone. She was still a bit nervous when she asked. "Have you played hoofball before?" asked Hobbs. "No, but only seen on in newspapers and, well, other ponies has told me about it, but never play it." And Hobbs looked at her and said, "Well, it is not that easy, that is kind of sure, but I can try and show you some of the basic if you want to still play with me." "Sure," said Limestone. But Limestone was still afraid if she will embarrass herself against Hobbs during the big play. So after Hobbs had showed her some of the basic movements and even some tactics for to play the hoofball, she's afraid that Hobbs didn't want to play anymore. And he said, "Wow, you did really catch it quite quickly. You're natural at this. Are you sure you've never played it before?" "Never." "Well, she seems to quite talent for this kind of game. Still wanna play? Like a match?" Limestone looked at Hobbs and, "Sure. My name is Limestone Pie, by the way. Hobbs here." "Did you say Pie? Are you related to Piggy Pie?" asked Hobbs. "Yes, she's my sister," said Limestone, a little nervous. She thought if he knew that, he wouldn't want to be around with her anymore. "Ha! Pinky is a... wow, it's a really party pony, that is, I can say. She can throw the most excited parties. Any time that when ponies are sad or angry, she could throw a party to just make the other ponies to be happy. She throws the most excited parties at all." "Yeah, she did throw some parties when we were young too," said Limestone. And Limestone and Hobbs then started to play some more other games to challenge the hoofball. And, well, they played all afternoon, even to when the sun was starting getting down. "Wow, it's getting dark. I'm probably going to go home now. You know, I had the weather team in Cloudesdale. Do you mind see you sometime?" "Well, I'm usually in Cloudesdale mostly for helping with the weather factory, but yeah, I think I can go back tomorrow if you want to play some more. And Limestone was actually blushing and said, "Sure, like that." And after Hops had flown away, Limestone just stood there and looked after him. After he disappeared, she could feel that her heart was so happy. She walked back to Sugarcube Corner, and Pinky then asked how her day was. "Well, it was okay," she said. But Pinky noticed something, that her sister was quite happy. She hadn't seen her that kind of happy in a long time, not since they were just kids. And she asked, "Did you meet Hobbs, maybe?" "Yeah, we kind of play hotball together at the park." And then, "Oh, tell me, said Pinky. I want to know. And then Limestone did understand. If she didn't tell her, she might just keep asking. So Limestone then started from beginning to the end. After she was finished, Pinky just smiled and gave her sister a big hug and said, "Well, you might ask him out next time." Limestone was shocked. She had never asked any pony out before. She thought maybe he was just to play but not going out. She was terrified. Limestone didn't know if she wanted to ask him out. And during the night, Limestone couldn't sleep because she was afraid if Hobbs would say no and if she asked him. But she knew that at least wanted her to ask him. So next day, she was walking through the park, hoping to see him, and afraid, of course, he wasn't there. So she left the park to walk around the town to see if she could see him. Unfortunately, she could see him at the market. He was there talking to Rainbow, and he saw her, and she walked up to him and Rainbow, and then he said to Limestone that he had told Rainbow about the game they played yesterday, which Rainbow saw and said, "Wow, you really had that kind of impressive. I never heard an Earth Pony was that so good and never tried it before. You're really awesome." "Thanks," said Limestone back. "Well, I have to go. You know why the team manager want me to supervise." "Yeah. Well, good luck," said Hobbs when Rainbow flew away. "So, you want to play some more games today?" "Well, I thought maybe you want to, like, go out with me." And Limestone was terrified if he would say no, and he could see that she was a bit scared. But she tried to tried not to look terrified. "Well, you seem to be cool, Pony, for an Earth Pony," said Hobbs. "Then sure, why not? Might be awesome to hang out with you, since you are great at Huffball. So, what do you want to do?" And he was not prepared for it. "Well, maybe, I don't know. Well, we can go to the movies if you want." "Sure, that sounds nice." So they went to the movie. And at the movies, they decided to see a comedy. And boy, were they just all they laughed at the movie. They could not stop laughing at all. After the movie, they went to a local cafe for something to eat. "Wow, that movie was great," said Hobbs. "Yeah, I couldn't stop laughing. I never seen so much comedy in a movie for a long time. I never usually leave the rock farm,